Okay, so this episode is called Politically Erect. So Carrie, she's been dating this politician, Bill Kelly, for 3 weeks now. She basically just spends time with him on the campaign trail.
Yeah,
I think
stands in the corner.
stands in the corner. So we see them at his apartment, at her apartment. They're making love, and that just hit me like, remember how long it took Big to get to her apartment? I think we
Oh
went
yeah, because
through
she
like
knew.
so many
Yeah.
seasons, but he also she was just living in his world.
Oh yeah, that's right. She went back to his place. Yeah.
It took forever for us to even see Big at her apartment, like filmed in her apartment.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
God, that man was terrible. I was like, we don't even know. It's like a nobody person, and he's already there. Episode 2. Like, anyways, Miranda. This episode, so her and Steve are in some weird like in between. They're like
situationship.
situationship.
Grown.
Yeah. Grown people. So he's not dating anybody else, says he's not planning to, just wants to spend time with her, wants to be exclusive with her, says it very straightforward, very verbatim, like just very clear to her about it. He gives him the, oh, that's sweet. I'll think about it.
Oh my God, Miranda, please.
She's
No,
so
she ain't
terrible
dating
to him.
nobody else.
Nobody else.
Just doesn't like Steve for whatever
No.
reason. Looks down on him still.
Yeah. Thinks there's something else out there. There has to be. This cannot be my guy. That's
Yeah.
what she's thinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
So at brunch, or after they ladies went to brunch, after brunch, her and Carrie are chatting about Steve's proposition to like go steady. And she flat out says she's wondering if someone better might come along. That's why she's hesitant with him.
Better how? Richer, maybe? That's the only thing I can think of. Richer, more educated.
Richer and more educated, not a bartender. Better job in her head. Like,
Ugh. Oh my God.
so obviously she cannot say that to Steve.
Right. Or Carrie.
Or Carrie was like, we got to find another way to say this.
Maybe I should just be honest and tell him what I'm really feeling, which is, what if somebody better comes along?
You gotta put a better spin on it than that.
But she's like, I don't know how to be political about it, because that is her truth. Technically,
Yeah.
that is her truth.
Yeah. Wow.
So Carrie advises her to do a pros and cons list. And now Carrie, for her episode, is wondering, can there be sex without politics? Samantha, this episode, we see Samantha sitting at a bar, drinking a Cosmo by herself. And she gets picked up by a very forward, very confident hedge fund guy, like finance New York guy.
Was he the guy from last episode with Charlotte where he was asking her? Was that the same person? I meant to IMDb it. Okay.
It wasn't. No. I know what you're talking about. This guy kind of looks like the poor man's Robert De Niro in a way.
Okay.
Right? Don't he?
A little bit.
He
Yeah.
does. He looks a little Robert in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, he pays for her drink, invites her to dinner, just like confident, booming, boasting. Then he steps down off his stool and he
Girl,
is
looking like Tory Lanez.
teeny tiny. Ooh. Later, we see the ladies at Bill's fundraiser, campaign fundraiser of some sort. Charlotte's there. She's running around, obviously trying to find a husband.
Yes, it's her year.
This is
we have
her
to
year.
keep that in mind
That's
all
true.
season. This is her
Yeah.
year to get married.
This is her year. She's on it. She ends up basically talking with this married man and then meets his wife. Finds out that they met at I don't know if you call this party, but like everybody shows up with a guy or a girl that they're not interested in. And it's a very smart idea, I think.
It is, yeah, especially in these days before online dating.
Yeah.
You know, and people were keeping these kinds of relationships alive. Yeah.
And like relying on getting set up by friends. Like there was no other option. So like what is she saying? One man's trash is another person's treasure. Like that was like real. So she's like, oh, interesting. I should do one of those. We also see Stanford. Poor Stanford.
Yeah.
He spots Bill's like security detail. He's like, oh, I know him. He's gay. I've seen him all over the place. Try and set me up, Carrie. She tries.
Harry is the worst. Girl, he has a great personality. Girl. He doesn't even say fashion sense or something.
I know.
Something aesthetic.
Yeah, he's funny though. Like, it just didn't sell him well.
Call him ugly. Why don't you? God damn.
Literally. So the guy obviously is not into it.
Yeah.
And she just tells Stanford. She doesn't have the heart to tell Stanford that. So she's like, he's not gay. He's just whatever, not gay.
Yeah.
Now, later in bed, Bill and Carrie are talking about like their sexual needs. And he says he would like to get her in the shower and quote, I'd let you pee on me.
Starts with the shower, getting fresh. It starts with the shower, getting fresh and clean, then drying each other off, and then pee on
each other.
Yeah.
Or him pee on her. No,
She
she pee on
pees
him.
on
Sorry.
him.
And he said, I'd let you pee on me.
Yeah.
As if she was asking for this, like needing this, wanting this. Like, now you're letting me? Oh, great. Like, so later they go to dinner. Carrie's like avoiding drinking water because she doesn't want to pee. He's like, oh, I can't stay the night. She's like, great. We see later Charlotte hosts her party where everybody brings a guy that they're not into or whatever. Sam brings the short guy.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I cannot deal with this. And he basically baits her into bed, saying he's like the best she'll ever have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, Samantha's like, all right, whatever, let's go. Takes him up on it, and he does perform. I don't know if he's the best she's ever had, but he does perform.
We know that's a lie, but that's okay.
That's fine. Miranda also shows up to the party. Everyone's like, what are you doing here? You're literally Steve's wife.
With Steve.
Like, stop. And she ends up going home to Steve, and they have sex. At the end, he says, you're the best woman I've ever met. I love you.
Yeah.
And now she's into it. So
oh my God, just takes so much with her.
She is exhausting. She really is. Now Bill, no, where am I? Oh, Samantha does decide to give her little short king another chance. You know, he wasn't bad in bed, so she's like, all right, let's do this. Go to dinner. And when he gets up to go to the bathroom, she sees that his coat is from the Bloomingdale's boys department.
It's a youth 16.
Youth. So she's like, I literally cannot do this.
Yeah.
Like, I love. She looks at it and she's like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Tries to run
out of the restaurant. And he catches her on the way out. He makes her laugh. She's like, oh, fuck it. Goes back. They end up dating for like another 2 weeks. Now, Carrie and Bill spend another night together. He's like, oh, let's go shower.
No.
Come on, get in here while it's hot.
Bill, can I talk to you about something?
Yeah, okay.
We've never showered. Why would we go shower now? Why would we start that now? After you had this proposition.
Right.
Why would we do that now? Now we're forcing kinks upon each other?
No. Well, she's like horrified. She tells him she doesn't she doesn't feel comfortable, but she offers, she's like, maybe I can pee with the door open and you can like listen to it. Maybe I can like dribble warm tea on it.
Warm tea was so wild. Carrie, you about to turn on the kettle and brew some chamomile for this man? Stop. You don't like
trying. She's coming up with ideas.
No, that's crazy.
And he doesn't take her up on any of that, and literally just like says to her, basically breaks up with her. He sees she's not into it, and he's like, well, people in my campaign are saying that your recent column was like too sexy, too much about sex, and I really shouldn't be dating a sex columnist. Which is very rich coming from a guy who literally pees on people. Like, that she's crazy. Yeah, because he kind of made her out to be like this racy sex columnist and da 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 da. And you're too, like, I cannot be seen with you. And she was like, okay, like, you literally pee on people. Like, you have, like, we all dating you have something on you. And now you're letting your campaign make me out to be like a weird sex fetish. Like, I don't know what they're making her out to be, but like, just.
Yeah. Too racy to date him.
Right.
Yeah.
Little do they know type of thing.
Right. Yeah. I see where he was coming from.
I mean, this was only going to end with them breaking up because he's a politician and she's a sex therapist. Like,
yeah.
So anyways, they break up. She ends up giving him the illest setup.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
By writing her next column about him and the peeing and saying it was her bravest political act to tell the truth.
Well,
so there goes Bill and his comptroller campaign.
Meanwhile, she don't even vote.
She doesn't even vote, and she does not care about any of this. Like,
nope.
And that was the episode. All right, let's dive into this discussion. So Carrie's question, can there be sex without politics? We'll get into it. First, I want to start dating a politician. Could you ever?
Oh my God. I thought about this during the scandal days.
Really?
Yes.
Kerry Washington and Homeboy.
And Fitzgerald Grant.
Yeah.
I would only do it in that situation. It would have to be a secret because you know what? I couldn't be first lady of anything, bro.
I want no parts.
Doing this show that we do right here, doing this?
Yeah. We couldn't do this.
We couldn't
They would
do-
tell
it-
us we could not do it. Like, literally, we would have to end our career.
It would be a whole different show.
It would be. Yeah. And look at Barack and Michelle. She hated him for 8 years.
Oh my God, I know. And that's like normal marriage that
Yeah.
people go through. And she's still like, oh my God.
Still hated him and hated her life that whole time.
hated her life. Oh, and now she's
Terrible.
up talking. I love this for her.
I know, I
I
do
love
too.
yapping Michelle.
I do. I live for it. You saw Malia also dropped her last name?
What does that mean? She walking around looking with her dad's face. Talking about, that's not my last
you
name.
are one of the most famous 22-year-olds on the planet. Like,
You have security
can't
detail
force-
everywhere. There's people hanging out the window waiting. Like they have to check the restaurant's salt seasonings before you
I
walk
know.
in. Talking about I dropped my last name. Girl, if you don't get out of here. Okay.
I think for like job purposes, like getting her own opportunities, not wanting people to feel like she got it because she's Obama, or like even for her, like her not feeling like she got it because whatever. But
Girl, I'm so tired of these Nepo children to
'Cause
talking all
eventually-
this stupidness.
also, eventually, we're gonna know what she's not gonna go by Malia Obama. She's gonna go by Malia something
Malia,
else, and
right.
we're all going to know what that
Right.
last name is. So like, it's still going to be the same effect, you know?
Still the same thing. And like you directed a Nike commercial and you're 22.
Right. And
No one
that
else has
doesn't
done that but you.
But you, because you are an Obama, that's fine. We love that for you,
That's
girl.
just fine. And we know you're excellent because you are an Obama. That makes
Because you are
perfect
an-
sense to
Hey,
us.
Thank you. She's a Harvard graduate on her own accord. Like, you did that,
Yes.
bitch. Good for you. But anyways, yeah, I could never date a politician. I don't think I just have zero interest. That level, there's a level of self-absorption that comes with being a politician, which I find very unattractive. And I personally just hate politics. I would want no closer association with that world. It's enough being a citizen in the United States of America.
That's right.
That's enough, you know?
Yeah.
I also feel like dating a politician is probably akin to dating like a very high profile, like professional athlete,
Yeah.
where your whole life revolves around them.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
this podcast could not exist if we were
Nope.
dating the next president of the United States. Like, we could not do this.
If we were dating the comptroller of whatever county we lived
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would not allow it. It'd be too risky to whatever.
We'd be on the commercials in the black and white.
Right? From the Republican
From
side.
the Republican
like,
side.
And his
Racist
wife. Yeah.
podcaster against all whites. So bad.
Do you want him as your comptroller? Like, it's so true.
Right?
So already off rip, we just don't align. Like, that's not gonna work.
Nope.
And then just living in that kind of spotlight, like, it gets dirty in the politics.
Oh,
It gets dirty. It's like a different kind of paparazzi TMZ type. Like, they are all up in your. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh my God. Remember the top 10 New Yorkers you didn't know, top 20 New Yorkers article you didn't know?
Yes.
And that
The
guy,
50 people
Jim
running
Smith,
New York or something.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Whatever, John, Johnson, who was like
Yeah.
planting the stories for the politicians.
Oh,
And
yes.
he was like, I don't lie with nobody. I ain't Democratic, Republican, or otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm phase. I'm
Yes.
like, what?
He was like the political fixer, like the PR crisis, whatever guy for both sides. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't need that guy knowing me.
I can't, and I wouldn't know who they are. He went by, Jim Jones in this fucking article. I wouldn't know. He's the host at my favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
And I think that we're cool every week. We kiki all the time. Next thing you know, he's selling it to the Inquirer.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just having your life up for grabs like that.
Yeah.
That level of prison that you have to live in.
Yeah.
That, and then also being the spouse of or partner to a politician. You got to go to all these fundraisers and galas, and you got to be kissing babies and hugging and shaking hands. I hate that shit. I don't do any of that.
Hate it. That's what would get me in trouble because I have no jurisdiction when it comes to who I'm talking to at any event. I will talk to anyone about anything,
About anything.
at an event. I have no just qualms about talking to anybody. So I would release somebody would say something and record it, and then I would be outed.
Outed, yeah.
It would be bad.
I couldn't do it. Friend, I have a would you rather though.
Oh, okay. Oh,
A controversial one.
oh boy.
On this topic. Would you rather date a politician or a cop?
What? Politician. Politician. Politician.
Let's click.
Politician. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a politician.
Yeah.
At least a politician is truly for real faking that they're there for the people. You know what I mean?
Maybe you're hoping there's a seed in there that they do actually want to do better for the country. You know, most politicians eventually become corrupt and crazy, whatever. But at one point in time, they did want to like help the constituents or whatever. Like, they are a good duder, good do-gooder. Sorry,
Yeah, there we go. It was like, do.
What am I saying? They are a do-gooder somewhere in there, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes it could be like a real heroic type of story, like a Barack. I think the same about Ras Baraka. He just went to jail for trying to disrupt the ICE raid and all the rest of the. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can really work out. You get the male AOC. Somehow,
Yes,
you know, that could be like you could really be a power couple in a way that I would like to be a power couple. But if you a cop,
I can't work with that.
I can't work with that. And there's so many reasons why people become police people, right?
Somebody got to do it. I'm not saying like somebody has to do. Somebody got to fight crime. Somebody got to make sure I don't get robbed all the time. Like that is a job for somebody.
Right.
Just not for me and my man.
No,
you know,
sorry. Yeah,
it's a hard pass. Anyways, moving along. Another. I want to talk about this as well.
Ooh, okay.
Another random quality in a man that comes up this episode is shortness, short kings. You see Samantha, she gives it a shot, ultimately can't do it.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, shout out to my brother who's listening to this episode right now. We've been having this discussion and I want to get your take. I want to get y'all's take. So please go off in the comments. Short kings. Is that exclusively a white male phenomenon? Short men struggling to get women. If you really think about it and you think of the non-white short men in your life, do they struggle to get women? Or is this really a white man's problem?
I don't have any. I don't know.
Think back to college, because I had to go back there too. Think about the short.
They were all gay.
Black,
okay.
The short black.
Okay, hold on. Okay, short black. Okay, got it. Okay, yes, got it. Yes, yeah. Okay, yeah. Damn, this might be a white man's problem.
This might be a white man's problem.
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So I had to think back because I don't have a ton of white or black dudes around me, like short black dudes at that.
Not short ones. Yeah,
not short ones, really. So I was like, okay, college. I remember in college, there were these, I could think of 3 black dudes, short, like bite size, 5'6", probably and under.
Yeah.
They never went without.
Never.
They always had a girl.
Oh, especially at a PWI.
Especially at PWI. Yeah.
Yep. Somebody's going to want you.
Somebody gonna want you. Also, the black community is small already.
Yep.
And so there's so many black dudes going around.
Yep.
The tall, good-looking ones generally had a white girl.
Yep.
So we got left
through them. Yeah,
run through them. Is the short black dudes always had a girl.
Always, every time. If you went to an all-black school, please let us know if this is still the case in all-black school.
Yes.
I know the ratio is different. I know it's usually 70-30 down to...
Right. There's so many more black
women. And then 20% of those guys are gay. So, you know, it's like a thing. But please let us know. Because I do think it's just as... We're talking about college specifically, but it's just as we grow up, right? And as these numbers keep dwindling of straight black men available at a place, right? Things like shortness, just they can't matter anymore.
They just can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like the image of like the sad, lonely, short guy who just can't find a girl, like
Always white.
it's white.
Always.
When you really think about short black dudes, like even just famous ones around, like they always got a girl.
Kirk Franklin, you would never know. He's literally like itty bitty.
Kevin Hart.
Fucking Hart.
He had his baby mama and he got a new girl. Like when you really think about it, I'm like, this is a white man's problem.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that short men, no matter of the race, even the black ones that we're talking about that always got girls, they don't have their own experience, right? Like they don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you would sit down and really interview them, I would still think they would say they have to put in a lot of effort. They have to be funny. They got to be charming. They got to like do a little bit more of something than tall black guys who don't have to like open their mouth and there's a girl like just hanging just because he's tall. They don't even know anything about him. So I know they have their own experience of like rejection to an extent. Like their shortness, it's not that it didn't come without struggle.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
But this concept of the short king and the short guy struggling to get a girl and needing,
Yeah.
I think that's just white dudes.
I think so too. Even when I think back to like a Kevin Samuels type of discourse that was going on, wasn't he 5'7" himself?
Oh, was he?
Wasn't he short?
I don't know.
He never talked about any kind of height with no dudes.
He didn't.
About being high value.
That's true.
But he was talking up and down about if you a woman and you over 200 pounds, you're a linebacker ass that deserves to be single.
Yeah.
Never talked about height with dudes.
Height with men.
Yeah.
He was 6'2", by the way.
He was?
He's tall, yeah.
He gave 5'7" energy. That's
the
what
energy,
it was.
yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, excuse me, but Kevin. Oh man.
But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. I just think this is an interesting discussion Dora and I have been having, and I was like, I think you are right this whole short kids, these men are struggling to get a girl, and they always looked over and whatever, and it's like it's never the black dude though. It's a white man thing. That's their struggle. Any black short white guy, short black guy, or even Hispanic guy you see in your life. Always got a girl.
Somebody.
Always got juggling girls.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm thinking of the Hispanic guy that was like 5'5". He always had a bitch.
Always got a girl.
And hanging too. Like that's the best thing they've ever had.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we see it on TV all the time. We see it on Love is Blind. We see it on all these shows.
Storyline.
It's the storyline.
It's the storyline.
Yeah. We even on I feel like on Pop the Balloon when we watched the one episode. There was like a short guy, the short white guy, whatever, that everyone kept picking over or whatever. That's not.
But if you're short and you don't have a thing, you're out. I did see a Pop the Balloon recently where the guy was short and everybody rejected him because he was short, but he also had a nasty little attitude about him. He was very sassy.
Well, there you go. You can't have an attitude at that. Like you definitely out. It was a black dude, short black.
It was
dude.
a short black guy.
Yeah.
He was very, very butthurt about all these women rejecting him because he was his height. It started off with height, and then he started talking to them crazy.
Yeah,
and they were like, "And you're short. Like you have all this sass, and you're
short. Yeah,
like no." So it's not that it's all the guys that we know. It's not all the guys who exist.
No,
but I understand what you're saying. Like this short king,
this phenomenon of short men can't find anybody.
Yeah,
that's just short white dudes we're talking about.
Maybe.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments, please. If you're a black woman, your brother is short and he's been struggling, or just you have any black men in your periphery and they're short, let us know from your vantage point. Are they struggling out here in the same way that there is this narrative that short men struggle, or is this just a short white man problem?
Damn.
Right? It's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I'm thinking about like education and like. I don't know, just like qualifications, right? Like if you meet enough qualifications and you're short and black, you're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The height doesn't really come into play at all.
Doesn't matter. No. So some short baddie is going to come get you.
Yeah. Automatically. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. I just needed that little.
That is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Go off in the comments, please. I'm so curious.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Samantha, we see, speaking of shortness though, is there a politically correct way to let a short guy down? If you, because everyone has their preferences, right?
Yep.
Some of us are ridiculous with our preferences. We're still like, he needs to be 6'2", you need to relax. But we have our preferences, and sometimes there's a guy, he's nice, whatever, but he's like 5'5", and you're just not into it. Is there a politically correct way to let a shorter guy down? Like, you're letting him down because of his height.
Oh my God. No, there isn't. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
As a short queen myself.
Yeah. Right. You were supposed to be dating them. Over here scooping up this tall ass nigga over here. You're supposed to be leaving him for the tall girls.
I couldn't.
Out here. Jeez.
I couldn't. He reached over the fridge and I fell in love. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, it's that you're not attracted to them because of a very superficial reason that they cannot help.
And you're automatically be branded a bitch for doing so.
For doing that. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you don't keep your options open and then like all the rest of that other shenanigans. But,
yeah. I think if you... So I don't think it's hard. I don't think ghosting is ever like the way to go, or literally saying to him you're too short. Like that also, that's not going to reflect well on you. Yeah. I think you can say though, like, I feel we'd be better as friends. Like, use that was the most PC of PC answers.
It is.
You know? And if they press on, then you can say, you know, the physical attraction isn't there for me in a romantic sense. Then they'll get the message. But you won't be branded like a full-on bitch.
Yeah.
In their head, they might still walk away. You're the villain in their head. Like, she didn't like me because I was short. But at least you were honest. Like, it's just the physical attraction isn't there. And that is the honest truth. I think that's peace. That's a nice PC way, right? Right?
I guess, man. I don't know.
We're being adults and honest, but still trying to be like, you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but also you want to be honest about your preference, and you're just not attracted to somebody who is 4 inches shorter than you or whatever. I think that's the way to kind of say it.
Yeah, that is the only way to say it.
The only way. Right? So yeah, I want to talk about Carrie's question. Can there be sex without politics? And just like the politicking of dating, right?
Yeah.
We really get into this with Steve. Steve kind of goes full throttle Miranda. Tells her he's not dating anybody else. He's not planning to. He wants to spend all his time with her. He wants to see her exclusively. She doesn't know how to say to him, I want to keep looking because there might be somebody better. There's no PC way of saying that to somebody without sounding like bitch, right?
Yeah.
But Miranda, in my opinion, should be allowed, if that is her prerogative. If we didn't know Steve and how amazing Steve was and blah, 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 blah. Miranda should, I believe, still be allowed to keep her options open. But doing that while dating Steve requires a little bit of politicking, right? What do you think of this concept, the politicking of dating? Like, when does it come up? How do you move? Like,
well, I think with this thing with Miranda, I don't know what she's asking for that's not Steve. That's the problem with what Miranda's asking for. So she's asking him to go out and find somebody else who does what? Likes you more, pays attention to you more, does more for you, and is more careful with you than Steve? No. And has better dick than Steve? No. So that's number one with Miranda. And then number two, if she wants to be political about it, she also, and wants to keep him around, she has to be dirty. She has to keep him. Absolutely. Because why would I stay around? When I told you I only want to mess with you and you say, I just want to keep my options open, why would I then keep my options closed?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. She's so far in with him at this point. Like, it's just either way, it's going to be unfair to him.
Right.
Like, if this was like date number 2 and he's like, I only want to date you. Right. Like, I just, you know. Yeah. But she's circling the block with Steve at this point, right?
Yes.
Season 3, he left, came back. Like, so yeah, at this stage, I don't know how you wiggle out of this without looking terrible and without being terrible. Not even just looking, without being terrible to somebody who is treating you well and who is showing up in the ways that it sounds like you are looking for in a partner. So what's the problem?
You know who talks about this a lot is Anwar.
Oh, okay.
He talks about this a lot with like dating outside your race. And he talks a lot about this kind of like I think, overarching politics
The
talk
politics of dating.
of
Yeah.
dating,
Yeah.
right? He talks about this quite often.
True. Yeah.
And people get upset with him because he is so staunch in his ways. But I don't think he's wrong in what he's saying because he has such conviction behind it. And, he knows what he's talking about. He gets people married. He knows what he's talking about.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think dating, at the end of the day, dating is about honoring thyself. People are going to get hurt in the process. People are not going to like you. You're going to be the villain in somebody's story.
You're the villain in somebody's story. Yep.
Always. But at the end of the day, dating is about honoring thyself. Finding your partner, whether it's a sexual partner, life partner, like whatever, finding your partner. And you have to be selfish in that process to an extent. It's really hard to be selfish without hurting someone else. And I think the politicking is figuring out how to minimize like bulldozing through people's lives and not like fucking them over completely. And just like minimizing the negative impact and damage that you cause on others. Yeah. And that's the fine line. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble because some people just don't care enough for other people's feelings and they move very selfishly, which I do think, as I said, I think you do need to move a little bit selfishly with dating. But some people move with a little bit more care than others. That's how some people are like super villains in some people's stories versus like that guy just didn't work out and he sucks, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think ever about the kind of, because when she asked about the politics of dating, I immediately thought about the guy who always wants to seem nice.
Yeah.
That guy's always a supervillain in somebody's story. He's playing it all like a politician, like a dirty politician, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And he is, by not being a lot of times truthful, that guy, because he's trying to be nice and try to play nice, like, in his head, he is under the belief that he's minimizing the damage.
Yes.
But you're actually being an asshole. And you're lying, a lot of times lying to people to try to like make them feel good, appease them, blah, blah, blah. And you're not doing the right thing or not being the good guy that you think you are. And you're actually causing havoc.
Yeah. You don't know what a nice guy actually would do. You're cosplaying as one. In her life for the day. Yeah. I think politicking comes up a lot too when people are trying to wiggle out from dating someone that they're not into. Okay.
Because I think people really struggle. I struggle. Like we all struggle with this. Yeah. Like the best way to let somebody down. They're not a bad person. You're just not into them. Yeah. You might not be attracted to them. You might not. The chemistry's not there. It happens. There's an imbalance a lot of times where someone's way more into you than you're into them, and they didn't do anything wrong. You just don't feel it. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of the politicking comes up, where people are trying to like navigate that. And it's tough.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be the villain in somebody's story, especially now when we can keep up with people so well. Like you can just see them all the time and know how bad something is or whatever. Also, we've talked about this before. Do you think too that letting somebody down now is easier because so many people are meeting online and they don't have community in common? It's easier to ghost. It's easier to let people down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's how ghosting became a thing. People are like, there's no skin in the game. I don't know this person. Whatever. I don't owe them anything. Right? He's not my friend's brother, so I have to move a little bit differently. How it used to be in the old days, right? Where everybody's getting set up all the time. It's just like a stranger. I have no skin in the game. So whatever. I'm just not going to respond to them. I think it's made it a lot online dating and just this way of dating now. Dating strangers, mostly full-on strangers.
Yes, full-on strangers. Because Hinge used to be because you were connected to a friend on Facebook, right? Wasn't that the premise of Hinge?
Like
way back when they first started. That's why it's called Hinge, right?
Oh, I don't
Down
remember.
below if that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
You could only connect through Facebook, and you only connect with people you had common Facebook friends
I do
with.
vaguely remember that. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was like the vetting process.
They were
was
in
so
your
few.
network.
They were in your network. Yeah.
Right.
There's same with shout out to our friend Alasia, how she met her husband, the LinkedIn one. The LinkedIn app.
Picky or Pick Me or something like that. Picky, I think. Not Pick Me. Yeah, not Pick Me. I think it was
the app is dead now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't exist. But yeah, it was connected through LinkedIn, like through a network.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's gone.
No, that's gone. Now it's just full on strangers. But yeah, when you had a little bit of like there were stakes involved.
Yeah, and there was somebody you had to answer to. Somebody was gonna tell that person, hey, what happened to them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think also with I was saying people like really struggle to let someone down, like, and that's just like a common for everybody. Like we all kind of been in that scenario before. I think where the politicking comes in is, I think people deserve, and let me hear what you think. I think some people, when you're dating them, they deserve some constructive feedback.
Oh, yes.
And I don't, you know what I mean? Yes, like, I don't, that's why I've never been a fan of ghosting.
Yeah.
I've been ghosted. I'm sure in the beginning I've ghosted people too. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, this guy, I don't know this guy from Adam, but there's a reason why I don't want to go on a second date. And I think he deserves to know, if anything, for the next girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And part of the politicking is like, how do I be honest with this person who is trying to go on another date with me? In the back of my head, I'm like, they deserve to know why I don't want to go on another date. And part of my, it's like they deserve it, but also the next girl deserves it.
That's really what we do it for. We all do it for each other.
Yeah.
We're all trying to do it for each other. You didn't ask me nan question on this date.
Hello.
I feel like I'm at my job of podcaster while I'm on this date, and it was terrible.
Right. Or you doing the interviewing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think they deserve that, but really it's because I think the next girl deserves it. That's really at the end of the day. Like, I don't actually think the man deserves it. Which is crazy. Which is crazy. But I don't think they take it very well. That's also why.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. Because it's not that they don't deserve it, because I do think they deserve to know about themselves.
Yeah, yes.
There's a level of self-awareness that you are operating in dating when you are just talking at people.
Yeah.
You know, you're not asking any questions, and you don't know that that's not okay to do. You should know that. You should know. You deserve to know that. You deserve to get that stuff. And you don't know that because no one's told you before. You know what I mean?
Or you are so up your own ass.
You're so up your own ass.
They're wrong.
That's the thing. Some people can respond in that way, like, oh, you don't know anything. But I do think a lot of people just innocently just don't know, because no one's like given that. When else would you get that type of feedback? Like, all you do is talk about it, ask me the damn thing.
True. Yeah.
Maybe a sibling might tell you, like, bro, you didn't ask me anything tonight. Like, but generally, you're not really, you don't know that about yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, I'm just curious. I guess drop in the comments what y'all think on this. Like the politicking, the piece, like the political correctness of like giving people feedback. And is it warranted? Is it necessary? Is it a part of like politicking and dating that is necessary? Or do you just think you're not interested, just get out? And that's really all that is needed.
Yeah, because you don't owe anybody anything, really.
You don't owe anybody anything, which you don't. You really don't. So, yeah, let us know. Do you think there is as we're still talking politics, like the words, there's a lot of like wordsmithing, right? Is there a political way to tell someone, in Miranda's case, I want to keep dating around?
Oh.
Like, you're great, but I want to keep dating around?
I mean, that depends on your goal. Her goal is to always have Steve around.
I know.
That's the problem with Miranda.
That is the problem, yeah.
Yeah. It's totally fine to tell somebody you want to keep dating around. I think.
Without shutting the door.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know. They might move on, they might not. But you have to be okay with that before you ask that question.
Right.
But I think in Miranda's case, she doesn't really want to date around. She just wants to see if he's going to pass all of her tests, which is like really terrible.
Yeah. And he's already passing them.
So with flying colors, yeah.
Yeah. So she's just like really hyper focused on. For Miranda, it's his job. He's a bartender. She's a lawyer. She just never saw this for herself.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, I think, in a nutshell.
Yeah. And I think class too with them comes into play a lot. Even the joke that he made, like, can you help me out with some tickets? Like, I thought that was funny. But
Yeah.
he was like,
But for
oh
her,
my
she's
God,
embarrassed.
$500 you owe them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like embarrassed by him in ways. I think it could be okay to say to someone like, if you're trying to like keep them on the hook, but also still date around. Like I am into you, but I like to move slow when it comes.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say work or something. You're busy with something.
Just lie.
Yeah, just lie.
I think you could still be truthful. I think there's fine to say like I am into you, but when you say I want to move slow, that's still buying yourself time to like still date other people. You know what I mean?
Right. Why do you want to move slow? Well, that would be the follow-up question, right?
Why do you want to? Because my ex, my past,
then you get to lying. See,
but
the lie's not far.
but it might not even be a lie. Like
It might not, yeah.
what is comfortable for me is
Yeah.
I like to move slow. I like to assess. I want to be discerning. I've made bad choices in the past. Like all of that could be truthful. But you could still say to the person like I am into you. Like keep that option around, right? But when it comes to dating, I want to move slow, which is letting them know that you want to move slow with them. But it's also I think it could also be signaling to them that like you're still dating.
Yeah.
Other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that would have to be clarified. Like the conversation doesn't end with I want to move slow. Okay.
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of resolution on the other side.
Yeah.
So they
Or
have
letting them know that you're dating other people.
Yeah. Because they're gonna ask if they're so gung ho on just you. Because they're not gonna want to move slow with you.
Yeah. Or if you say I like to move slow with dating.
Right. Then I think that the possibilities are endless then.
It's open for interpretation. Right?
Yeah. If you're dating or not. Yeah, that's
If
what
we're
I'm
dating or
saying.
not. I like to move slow with dating. So like dating you, dating others, like it's putting it out there that I am dating. It's acknowledging that we're dating, but it's also opening up that like I am dating and I like to move slow with dating. Whether it's you or anybody else. Like
Yo, this is why we can't date no politicians. Because I'm not falling for this one, but I also don't have nothing for you.
Oh God. But yeah, like Miranda's being ridiculous, but I'm just saying in this scenario, if you're somebody who you're dating somebody, you like him, but you just don't know because you don't know. You just started dating.
Yeah.
But they might be pressuring you, like they might be really putting the pressure. They
Oh
might
my
really
God,
like you.
yes. Like Anwar's dating thing. When he's like, well, it's been 6 months, and if you don't have even the ring shopping date, then that is not your man.
Yeah.
That man has every right to say, I want to move slower.
I want to move
and I want to get to know you better.
Yeah.
They're not wrong for saying that. at all.
Right. Yeah. But you might have somebody who like a viable option who's applying the pressure.
Yeah.
And you're interested, but you still don't know. How do you wiggle out of saying to them, you're my person?
Yeah.
But also not completely alienate them. Like you still want to keep them around.
I know. And I feel like the dating streets are so crazy right now with honestly the polarizing opinions of everybody, and everybody's like, values are being put on display in this way that like there's no questions for a lot of people. I don't know if this kind of like vagueness works anymore. Because vagueness is not a thing that we do anymore.
Yeah. People want directness.
Yeah. And it's everywhere. Your reposts, your likes, who you follow on TikTok, like who you're following on Instagram, what you tweeted in 5th grade, like all that stuff seems to be like these very glaring opinions and values about people that I don't know if vagueness works anymore the way it used to work when we were out dating in the good old days.
The good old days. Yeah, it's tough. That's what I'm saying.
Way harder now.
Dating does take politicking, especially now. Especially now. Yeah. But yeah, people want people prefer when you're forthcoming. Tell me what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But how do you do that without completely annihilating an option?
I know.
Who you still want to keep as an option.
I know.
But
that's
I want to move slow.
I want do you? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you want to move slow or if you want to keep them around. Because I'm thinking of the girl who did the Cosmo article, right? None of those men who did she dated all the conservatives, all for the conservative ass. None of those men actually deserve that feedback.
Yeah.
Of like, you're a psychopath.
Yeah. I draw the line there. Even for her own safety, I'm not. Those are the guys that they don't need to know because they don't want to know about themselves from you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I draw the line. But yeah, let us know what y'all think. Is there like a political way to like keep an option around?
Yeah.
But also still date.
And what's the option around? Like, is he like, he's cool and everything and like whatever, but he's like an anti-vaxxer. Like what's the thing?
What's the thing that's
keeping you kind of distant away from him?
Yeah. Is it even are you even valid in wanting to keep him around but not be exclusive with him?
Right. When you know so much about people these days, where they stand.
Yeah. I can see it though, with just if you come from a background or even just your last ex, you're like, I moved too quick.
Yeah. And
if I was a little bit more discerning, I wouldn't have gotten so deep with him. That could just be the answer of why you want to move slow. And I think that's valid, right?
Yeah.
How do you communicate that to somebody, right? Yeah. And also keep them around because they do seem like they might be a good fit, but you just don't know because you're trying to be, discerning.
Yeah.
It's tough. Now, Bill wants Carrie to pee on him.
The politics of kink. Yeah.
How sometimes, your partner has a kink that you're not into, or someone new that you're dating has a kink that you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How can you politically wiggle out?
Yeah.
Without embarrassing them or shaming them?
I think politics is so wrapped up in this in a way that keeps everybody safe. Because I think the way that Bill went about it was not very political.
Yeah. No.
He told her about it. She was like, and then he demanded they get in the shower. That was crazy. You were going to try to force your kink onto her? That's wild. I think politics has to be involved in kink.
Yeah. And it's like an unusual kink at that too. Like,
I don't know. I don't know enough about everybody's life.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's way more people out there peeing on each other. I have no idea. But like foot fetishes,
right?
Like, that is more
specific. You're talking about like
like specific.
Yeah. There's no room. There's no wiggle room. It's not like you like feet and hands. You like feet.
You like feet, right? And it's just a kink that it's shown on TV enough. People talk about it. Everybody knows a guy who's like into feet, kind of like you know what I mean? Like it's out there.
Feet's way bigger than we think. Yeah,
feet's way bigger than we think. Yeah. We've come to learn the last few years. Like men really fucking love feet, like
and women.
Sure, I don't want to discriminate. But I'm just going to suspect kinks of the peeing and bodily fluids variety,
right?
Not as out there,
right?
And
right. And again, there's no substitution because the warm chamomile tea is comedic to think that would be a substitute.
Right? So he just kind of like laid it out there, and I think didn't really have a discussion around it.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like, let's go take a shower. And it's like, and she knows what's coming. You know what I mean?
Because he explained it. He explained what he wanted.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he, as someone with that type of kink, I guess there could have been a way to kind of like lay it up to Carrie or make her feel more comfortable around it. To me, it was obvious that she wasn't comfortable. Otherwise, she would have been like, yeah, let's do it. She kind of like avoided it. And then now you're asking her to go into the shower. She's not bringing it up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I think even the way he spoke about it, about his kink to whatever it is, wasn't right. I think the way that you can say it is, do you have any fantasies you want to fulfill?
Okay.
He broached it as, is there anything you want me to do I'm not doing?
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should be like? She wants this all the time.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I don't think is very fair.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is a fantasy that he's fulfilling. This is like real specific. And maybe, you know, we have the internet now. So I don't know. He could go on Craigslist and Reddit and figure it out now.
Craigslist. Oh my God.
You know, it's waivers around.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And there's apps now with kinks, right? So
yes,
there's like apps where you could put them out.
Find somebody. Yeah.
So it's way easier to like find somebody who's into the thing that you're into.
Yeah.
But to me, this feels like a fantasy to fulfill and not a kink that is like mandatory when you're having sex with somebody. That's what it feels like to me. And even the feet people that I know, it's not mandatory every time they have sex that you have to suck my toes. There's other ways that you could we could do this.
Yeah.
You know, but he was like, no, I want to do this every time.
It did seem like it was a part of his routine, his sex routine. They shower. He gets
Yes.
But it's like, if this is part of your routine as well, right? This is when you think of sex, this is part of it for you.
Right.
I'm expecting him to lead some type of conversation around this.
Me too.
Or just like at least do you have any questions about this? I know it's kind of unusual.
Yeah, right.
Even.
Yeah.
Just acknowledging the obvious in the room.
Have you done it before?
Have you even just asking that question? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was really done with when afterwards he was like, all right, well, my publicist says we can't date. Fuck you. You literally asked me to be on you. As if you don't have fuck shit going on with you. You know, if only they knew. Me writing a sex column and to them is fuck shit. Little do they know about you, sir. But yeah, I think Carrie tried her best. She suggested other ways. They were kind of comical, but she was suggesting ways to try to achieve whatever, sensation, I guess. She was trying to achieve the sensation for him.
Yeah.
Which, warm tea is not going to do the same.
No, or leaving the door open when you pee.
Go to pee like that. But she was trying. She was trying not to embarrass him. She's trying not to shame him. I think that is generally how you should move. But I think he could have helped the situation out by at least having an open dialogue with her. That's yeah. Do you think she should have written about him in her column?
Yeah.
You do think so?
For sure. 100%. Yeah. You know how much bullshit I've talked on this microphone? Absolutely.
I know. Just ended his whole that might have ended his political career.
Oh well.
Oh God. I don't know if I need that on my conscience.
But I think then why did you bring me around so fast? You didn't know if I wanted to pee on you or not.
Yeah, he was reckless like that.
You were reckless with your political career.
That's true. He was.
And then tried to shame me for it. Yeah, well, you gonna be Anthony Weiner then? Sorry.
That's true. I write a sex column. Like the chances of you. Not even chances. He appeared in her last column.
Right.
That's what they're talking about at the end.
Yes.
So I'm going to write about us, at least.
At least. And then you have the nerve to have this type of kink as well. And you think I'm not going to write about it?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, that is true.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
And what do they say about writers? Like, if you don't want anything bad written about you, don't piss off a writer. That's like a saying.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Your content, especially if they write about their life like she does, you're part of the content. So anyways, anything else?
No, I really want to talk about the politics of kink because I thought that was so terrible what Bill did to her.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And the way that he did it. And there's so many safe ways to do it. It's like Shannon Sharp in this race play.
Oh my God.
Where he's talking about yes, a massa, pick this cotton, yes, a massa to this white lady. And she's selling him out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I never wanted to think about that ever again.
My favorite thing to bring up with you because you hate it so much.
Oh God. Just her message, her text message. I'm so mad. I know what she said to him. I hate it. Anyway, Justine, what did we learn this episode?
He's a smart guy.
Oh God. That sex needs to have a discussion. We need to have it needs to be a conversation. It's not a one-way street.
Yeah.
And there's politics involved in that, and that is totally fine.
Agreed. I totally agree. Yeah.
What about you?
I think there are politically correct, respectful ways to honor yourself while dating, while also rejecting people that you might not be into. I don't think we need to lie. I don't think we need to ghost. I don't think we need to be mean to other people. I think there's a way. It just takes a little bit of finagling and politicking to kind of like navigate letting people down in a respectful manner. And that's fine. Yeah. And some people deserve disrespect. So I'm not saying you got to be nice to everybody. Some people deserve to get what they're going to get. But oftentimes you just don't click with somebody. And there's a way to like wiggle out of that without ghosting them, you know?
Definitely. Yeah.
Sound off in the comments, guys. We had a lot of call outs this episode.
Yes, we did about very personal things. Shout out to Patreon.
Shout out to Patreon. Join the Rose Garden on Patreon to join the conversation. And we'll see you guys. Later this week for Love Island.
Oh my God. Speaking of politics. Wow.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.